As the pandemic hit India, for millions of migrant workers, the place they had moved to in search of a better life only offered uncertainty now. For many, returning back home seemed like the lone option that offered some comfort. But the challenges that migrant workers in our country face aren't new. India has over 400 million migrant workers who travel from rural to urban industrial areas in search of work, following the promise of livelihood opportunities that these spaces offer. Most migrant workers, who are also predominantly from historically excluded communities, are employed in the informal sector, doing jobs like casual work in construction, farming, manufacturing. Many of them face hardships like payment below minimum wages, lack of access to social security, poor living and working conditions. The pandemic has highlighted the challenges that migrant workers already face and, with its impact, worsen them. According to the International Labour Organization, about 400 million workers in the informal economy in India are at risk of falling deeper into poverty during the COVID-19 crisis. Women are at even a higher risk of dropping out of the workforce. A study in November 2020 found that 13% women have dropped out of the workforce as opposed to 2% men. To fight this crisis, we need to work on strengthening the resilience of migrant workers across our country. Our work is laid out for us. Enable access to government entitlements and schemes ranging from cash benefits to health, education and insurance to help build a safety net against life and livelihood shocks. Address forced labour, exploitation and safety of vulnerable migrant workers and their families. Work with government and industry to ensure improved worker welfare and ensure safe employment. Visuals of how migrant workers suffered in the aftermath of the COVID-19 lockdown shook our collective conscience as a nation. But let us always remember, this is not a crisis that started or will end with the pandemic. Workers continue to rely on migration for livelihood opportunities and are an extremely vulnerable group. The pandemic is merely a wake-up call, urging us all to focus on the issue and act now.